Department of Revenue and Taxation Director John Camacho told lawmakers today that they still have 6 or 7 requirements to meet in order to be compliant with the Real ID Act. During a roundtable hearing on the Real ID Act, Camacho told senators that the Real ID is not an actual requirement of law, but rather something that is voluntary. However, federal buildings require Real IDs for access, and interstate travel will require Real ID Act compliant driver's licenses or passports. Camacho says they have met most of the 39 requirements of the Real ID Act, but have asked for an extension until August 30th of 2018 to be fully compliant. Vice Speaker Therese Terlahi brought up the fact that the long lines at the DMV were blamed on the processes necessary to be compliant with the Real ID Act.
I don't think anybody understood at the time when they were lining up for these long hours that their Real ID was not really a Real ID. Because that was the explanation given. We were converting to Real ID. That's why they were waiting. And then we found out, traveling, that it's not really a Real ID. And we still have to wait again for Department of Revenue and Tax to convert it.
Everybody that lined up early this year to get a supposedly Real ID card didn't get one. How are they going to get it now? Because they don't want to get in line for anything no more. It's like enough's enough.
For the record, DRT never claimed we were Real ID. It was a miscommunication. We just kept saying we're working towards compliance. That's what we kept stating.
DRT Deputy Director Marie Benito said they are working on ways to ensure that people who have already been vetted won't have to stand in long lines to get their Real ID once the agency is 100% compliant.